Marine Le Pen certainly has a chance at winning the French presidency, but some simple arithmetic doesn't make those chances look very high. Front Nationale candidate Le Pen won 21.3% of the vote in the first round, roughly 7.7 million votes. She came second to independent Emmanuel Macron, who, garnering roughly 8.7 million votes, acquired roughly 24% of the national ballot. As we look at the current polling for the second round, it's possible to see how Marine Le Pen could be victorious. However, it certainly requires a stretch of the current numbers. Let's hypothetically say that voting participation in the second round is the same as it was in the first. Now, this is quite an unrealistic assumption, but it serves as a good base case. Let's also assume that Le Pen voters in the first round stay Le Pen voters, and those that favoured Macron continue to support him too. From here, we can split the vote of the other important candidates in the race. Even if you give Le Pen 45% of Fillon's vote, she fails to come anywhere near Macron. Furthermore, polls show her not earning anything like that. In fact, the figure could be closer to 35%. Now, for those of you who are wondering about the votes given to less popular candidates, I've arbitrarily said that 20% of those votes would go to Le Pen and the rest Macron. Is that realistic? Well, no. But the magnitude we're talking here is a couple of 100,000 votes, and as you can see here in this scenario, she would lose by more than a couple of million. So what's key to a Le Pen victory? Well, voter absenteeism. Voter absenteeism changes the ball game significantly. The red figure indicates the percentage of that candidate's vote in the first round that stay home in the second. A small percentage of Le Pen's voters will probably stay at home, having become either disillusioned with the candidate as she tried to become more mainstream, or thinking that there was no point in voting as Macron would win the election. A larger percentage of Macron's original supporters would also stay at home, convinced that their candidate had it essentially in the bag. Dissatisfied with their final two choices, large segments of Fillon's and Mélenchon's supporter base would also refuse to participate in the second round. And for this particular example, I've assumed that any voter who backed one of the candidates who received less than 2% of the popular vote in the first round also stays home in the second. Voter absenteeism gives Le Pen a huge boost, as you can see here. But she still falls short. She still can't get over the line. Now, assuming that voters who backed candidates in the first round who received less than 2% of the national vote stay at home in the second is indeed a pretty unreasonable assumption. These voters could indeed favour Le Pen with their anti-establishment Eurosceptic bent, and in this scenario it is potentially enough to get her over the line. The key here is that if Le Pen is to win the presidency, voter absenteeism will be what propels her into office. So as we look at polls in the coming weeks, we must look at what percentage of voters of Fillon, Mélenchon, Hamon, those other candidates, what percentage of their original supporters plan to stay at home. That will be key to understanding whether Le Pen actually has a chance at claiming the French presidency. For those of you who are interested in why the voters of far-left candidate Mélenchon may vote for Le Pen in the second round, check out my dedicated video to the topic. And if you'd like to keep up to date with all European and global political events, don't forget to subscribe. Plenty of elections are just around the corner. Thanks for listening to Black Swan Politics.